So until now in JavaScript, okay, what you have really learned is DOM. This is the most important part of JavaScript. Okay, so DOM is something which is used. So what is DOM? Why do we use DOM? DOM is used in manipulating the content of the web page. Okay, web page, also the styles. We have seen that how to manipulate the styles and stuff. Okay, now coming to the jQuery here. Okay, jQuery does the same thing as JavaScript. jQuery does the same thing as JavaScript. Alright, jQuery does the same thing as JavaScript. So hence jQuery is also called as, okay, jQuery is nothing but a library of JavaScript. It's a library of JavaScript, or I call it as a framework too. Okay, it's plain and simple. Just remember this, that jQuery, 10 lines of JavaScript code equal to 2 lines of jQuery code. That is it. It's a library, or sometimes people call it as a framework. Okay, framework which eases the work of JavaScript. So in general, okay, in general jQuery is also called as, okay, write less and do more framework. That means, as I told you, right, if you have to write 10 lines of JavaScript, okay, in jQuery it's only 2 lines of code. So that's why it's called as write less and do more framework. Okay, so jQuery comes with a .js file. So to use this, how do we include? Okay, like just like any other external scripting file, you have to include the jQuery before you write any code of jQuery. Like say src equal to, so let's call it as jQuery.js. So this is the jQuery file. So jQuery is nothing but a JavaScript file, So you have to include that and then write whatever the jQuery code you want to write. So here comes jQuery code, and you can also write the JavaScript code also, because jQuery is nothing but a JavaScript. Behind the scenes it is JavaScript code. When I say behind the scenes, the jQuery.js file is nothing but a JavaScript file, because the extension is JS file. So now the question is, where do I get this jQuery.js file? So all we need to implement jQuery in our websites, web pages and web applications, we need jQuery.js file. Right, we need jQuery.js file. So where do we get this? So you have to go here, jQuery.com, www.jQuery.com. So let us just see and what jQuery.com website has. So I share my screen here. Let's go here. So yeah, it's open here. So jQuery.com is a website. You go here, click on, you see here, download jQuery version 1.11.1, 1.11.1. Okay, I click on this. Always remember, download the latest version, which is jQuery 2.x is the latest version. Okay, and again the compressed. Okay, download always the compressed version. How do you download? Usually what I do is like Control A, I selected everything, Control C. So now let's go to our folder here. So here, open recent. Okay, I do. Okay, let me do this. So here I go to my scripts here, I open a new file, I'll copy the entire the jQuery code I copied there, I save it. I'll save this as jQuery.js. So I saved it as jQuery.js. So that's what the download means. So when you say download, you have to download the jQuery file. When you clicked on download, the latest version is jQuery 2.x. Click on the uncompressed version. Every time remember this, you have to use only the compressed production one. Okay, you have to use the compressed version. Alright, so now, and the other beauty of jQuery, you see here jQuery write less do more. So you have to write very less code and it will do a lot of stuff. That's what it means, write less do more code. Okay, and you can also go to the documentation, API documentation. Herein you have all the methods of jQuery which are used, all the methods. It has events, it has effects, okay, it has everything. So let's go ahead and see here the effects. The effects are hide, show and toggle, it says. Let's click on toggle, and it has everything. The documentation has everything. Tomorrow if you have any question in jQuery, don't go anywhere, just come to the jQuery website. You can also search for it. Suppose I want to hide something, or I need a help in Ajax, I need anything, I need any help, you can come to this website and search for it. Okay, this website will help you everything about jQuery. Alright, so the events here, it talks about everything. They give examples also. You see there's an example here too. There's an example here. That's a very beautiful example over there, to see that. Okay, so that's the effects, and let's see other effects also here, and let's see the fading effect. This is really cool effect, the fading effect. Fade in, fade out, fade toggle. We see fade toggle. Okay, so these are all the effects which can be done using JavaScript also, but using jQuery it becomes very easy for us to write the code. Okay, so let's see one example here. I want to write one example to show you guys how to use jQuery. A very simple example, then we move on to complex examples here. So here HTML, head. So if you have any question, you can type in the chat box. Okay, so because I'm not in the class there, just help out if somebody newbie comes in there. Tutoslive Super 10 jQuery intro. Right, I save this as outside. I'll save jQuery intro.html. Right, so here the body. Here I'll write div class equal to, say let's say demo. Okay, here I write some text, some dummy text. So let's go back to the internet, or let's take here itself. So I'll take this content here, I'm copying it, I'll paste it here. So let me just remove this. Okay, so this is it. Now let me just write the JavaScript way first. So how do I write the JavaScript way? I just need the content of it. I want to change the content. Let's say I want to change the content of it on clicking something. Here I'll write a button here, a button. Okay, click to change the content. So here I'll write an ID, click. Let me write first the JavaScript way. Okay, the JavaScript way is where element equal to document dot get element by id click. Right. So here element dot on click equal to element dot on click equal to, now I would like to say document dot get element by id of our class, right. So let's class name get elements by class name demo of 0 dot inner html equal to changed, some simple content, get elements by class name demo of 0, I have to write the index, there is only one class, so the index is 0 dot inner html equal to changed. Let me just write this inside a function. Okay, so let's see now. So let me just go here, write this. Okay, I click, it has been changed. This is the JavaScript way of writing it. Okay, let me show it again. So I click to change the content, I clicked, it says changed. That's the JavaScript way of writing to change the content using DOM. Okay, this is everything is DOM, document dot get element by id, okay, and document dot get elements by class name, everything is DOM. On click is an event. Okay, so that is the JavaScript way. You got my point here, the JavaScript way. You understood? You guys with me? The JavaScript way. So it's pretty and simple. We have discussed these examples in previous classes. So if you have any question out there, you can go through the previous classes, or you can ask it here also. You can ask me any question here. Why click? What is this element? What is this document dot get element by id? What is this class name? Why did you write 0 here? Anybody has an answer here? What can anyone explain this entire thing? Anyone here? This particular piece of code. Okay, I hope you understand the piece of code, right? So now let's do it in a different way. Now let's do it in a jQuery way. All right, so for that what I'm supposed to do is I'll just comment this out. I commented that out. Okay, I don't need this. So first and foremost thing you are supposed to remember writing jQuery code is include the jQuery file. So where is my jQuery file? It is in scripts jQuery.js. The first and foremost thing you are supposed to do is write this. Without this, jQuery will not work. Remember this. Without this, jQuery will never ever work. So the next is, again, since jQuery is nothing but again a JavaScript code, you are always supposed to write inside a script. Okay, so every piece of jQuery code will start with $. Okay, so what is the ID of the button? ID of the button is hash click. Why hash? This is the representation saying that this is an ID. However, we are writing it here document get element by ID, then we can differentiate that it's an ID. Document dot get elements by class name, we can differentiate that it's a class name. But coming to the jQuery and CSS, hash means ID, dot means class name. Okay, so dollar hash click dot click. That means whenever the button with ID click is clicked, whenever a button with ID click is clicked, then execute a function. Okay, what does the function do? There is a class name demo, change the content. That's it. So this means whenever I click on button or ID on any element with ID, click, okay, execute a function. So in that function, okay, change the content, of the class demo to change. That is what this piece of code means, this particular code. Without this, this will not work. Remember this. So how do I write the code? Okay, let me just put it again here in general way. So in general way, how do you write? jQuery code always starts with a dollar. Here write the selector. If you guys can remember a selector, this selector we have discussed in CSS. Dollar selector dot. Okay, if you want to write an event, you can write an event here. Event is click event, keyboard event, form event, any kind of event. Okay, then function. So here whatever you want to do, that is what I have written. Let me put that again here, dollar. So what is the selector over there? It's an ID called click. So hence hash click dot. What is the event there? Click. So I'll show all the events, how to look for all the events. Okay, all the events are placed at one place in the documentation. Function. Here what I want to do, I want to change the content of the demo dot html. Here content. So that's the syntax, and that is an example over there. So let's see now. Let me just refresh this. That's the content. Let me just click this. You see that it has been changed. Oh, I have to share the screen here. So let me share the screen here. So you see, this is the content. I click on it, it has been changed. Now this is using jQuery. Change using jQuery, and that is the previous one is changed using JavaScript. Alright. So now what I really want here is, I don't want this, I want it to fade away. Let's see now. Fade out. Just one function called fade out. So let's see now. I refresh, I click on this, it has been faded away. So I can give time also. Let me refresh, click on this. See that it has been faded away. Okay, let me click again. Faded away. Okay, so let me use a function called fade toggle here. Fade toggle. They have a function, they have a method called fade toggle. So let me just write fade toggle. Let's see what happens now. So and at the end, very end, I'll tell you where to use which function, why should we use. Okay, so I refresh this. I clicked, faded away. I click again, it appears. You see. So to write this particular piece of code in JavaScript, it takes a lot of lines of code, but with jQuery, it's very easily possible. Yes. So like such, this is just an example. Now let us see what kind of functions we have. Okay, let's start with attributes here. So where you have to go to jQuery.com, click on API documentation, and you will see this page. Now you see there are so many. We have used this now, HTML. We just use the HTML function here. So what it does, it puts content into the the tag. Okay, and val. This is very, very important. What is val? Val is nothing but how to get the values of form elements. Suppose if I have a form element, let's say here, okay, I'll say input type equal to password, name equal to password. You guys are getting it? I can explain it again. Don't hesitate to ask any question. Do not hesitate to ask any question. Okay, span class equal to show password, class equal to show password. Okay, now let me do one small experiment here. So dollar for the input here, okay, that's an input tag, right? So input tag dot key up, key up or key press, anything. Okay, key up, on key up event at function. So maybe key up is not highlighted here. Okay, let me use key press. Let us see. Okay, as soon as I'm typing there, okay, the password should be showed here like this: dollar dot show password dot html, here dollar this dot val. Or okay, why should I complicate this? Let me just first take the password here, where password equal to dollar. What is that password? Where do I get the password? I get the password in this input field. So since the selector, the main selector is input, I can use this. So when I'm typing in this input, this dot val. So I got the password in there, and I'll input the password. I'll put the password in the span, which has a class called show password. Okay, so let's see if this is working out. So I'll just refresh this. This is it. Okay, that's the password I'm typing there. So it's appearing over there as soon as I type. Okay, there is a small lag there. That may be because of this. So maybe key up may help us. So here I'll type the password as tutoslive.com. See that? So that is a val over there. So remember, val is always used with the form elements. You can also use this with your select boxes and everything. Okay, so that's about the attributes over there. So you can also use and this is very, very important again, attr. So this is used in Ajax. This is very, very important. So I'll how do we get it? For instance, okay, I want to know the name of this input field. I want to know the name of this input field. Okay, so let's do one thing. Here, show sorry, button, show name of the input box. So I click on that. Okay, another box should show the name of the input box. So how do I do? Dollar, yes, dollar. So button. So button should have an ID or class, anything. So I'll use an ID. I'll use an ID as show name. You can use anything. You can use class also. You can use ID also. But remember, ID should be unique in the page. Class can be anything, multiple. Class can be one or more, but ID should be only one. Remember this point. Okay, so let me just put click. Sorry, I don't want to show that, but that's a mistake. You know, most of the freshers, new people do in jQuery. They write multiple IDs with same names, and you won't see the result with that. Okay, so always remember ID should be unique in the page. Class can be any. Okay, so here hash, since it's an id, hash show name. Whenever I click on show name, I click on show name. Okay, so function what should it do? Alert, let's say name of the input box, right? How do I get? Var name equal to dollar, what is the tag? Input tag dot attr. What attribute I need? I need the name of it. Which attribute I need? I need the name of it. I can also get id. If I want to get id, I'll give id here. If I want to get the type, I'll give type here. Okay, that is the attribute of that particular element. Now let's see. So I'll refresh, show the name of input box. See, the name is password, right? The name is password over there. Let me just change the name of it. Let the name be Tutoslive. Saved it. I refresh, click OK. I refresh. Now let me see. You see that? I change the name and we take the name. So this is very, very important. Remember, attr is important, HTML important, val is important, and like search, add class again. Add class is really important again. So I'm just showing the examples how we can use, and tomorrow we see a solid application in jQuery. We'll see one real-time application in jQuery. I'll give an assignment also by the end of this class. On click, animation. I'll give some animations. Do that assignment. Don't forget to skip that assignment. And I hope you guys are not doing the assignments. But still, I'll be giving assignments because you need to do those assignments. Maybe sometime later in future, at least attempt those assignments so that you may get a good grip on, at least on jQuery. Try these assignments in jQuery. Alright, so let me just show you guys add class. Okay, so how does add class come up? So for that I need to write a class here, style. So I'll write a class called success. So success has a background, okay, background of black, a color of white. Sorry, I'm writing it reverse. Okay, and a padding of 1%, and a border 1 pixel, solid, hash green, a green color border. Okay, I'm writing a class there. Now whenever I click on the button show, or let's say, okay, this password, okay, this password, whenever I want the password here, whenever I type something, okay, the password, it should show the password and it should add a class called success. This is called chaining of methods. First use HTML, then add the class called success. There is no dot, remember this again. This is a mistake most of the freshers do. You are not supposed to add because it's a class name, it's not a selector. If you want to use it as a selector, you are using this as dollar and dot. Okay, so now let's see how this really works out. So let me just refresh. Okay, coming here, you see that? Do you see that? Password is gonna type there with the class applied. Even the class is also applied. That's the beauty of jQuery. Like, you can do hell lot of things using jQuery. A lot of things. You can make dynamic. So where are these used? These things, where do we use these things? You see, in every website, okay, in every website you type a password, Or you see this, this field is required, this is not an email. Okay, there are certain things we see, right? Please type a valid email. While you're typing it, you'll see a message by the side of it, please type a valid email. Like, I say this is not a valid email until now, even not this one, but when I click on @ it stops saying that message and it says that okay, now this is a valid email. Right? So that's where it is used. Now coming to the change the content or fading away, fade away, where do we use this? So we use this, when you want to disappear some things, like, close something, you want to close something, or you want to make something appear, like, close in, close out, close in, close out, like in Tutoslive. Okay, let me just show you this thing. So here in contact, I click on more. You see this? This is done using jQuery. Oh, I got a new contact request over there. See that? You see that? This is done using jQuery. So will you guys attempt to do this? Can you guys attempt to do this? So the same thing. Now let me just do one thing here. Instead of here the button, okay, I'll put it at the top. Okay, I did it at the top. I refresh. You see that? Same thing. Instead of fade toggle, okay, I'll say slide down and no time, slide down, just slide down, or slide toggle. Maybe they have something called slide toggle. I'll slide down, let's say. Let me just refresh this. Okay, slide up, it's already visible, right? So I'll say slide up, refresh. See that? Okay, it has been slided. So that's where it is used. So any questions until now? Ankush and Anil, shoot me any question. Can you guys do an assignment? I need the same assignment. Okay, what I really need is, okay, I'll put it here, so I won't be typing. Remember this thing. Or okay, assignment. Can you guys do this assignment, or do you want hints? What I want is, okay, there are some text here. This is some text. Everything is a P. Okay, so this is a P tag, some content. Okay, when I click on this, there should be another content which is appearing. There should be another content which is appearing. Okay, I'll show for one. I'll show for one, and you do for the rest of the things. Yeah, you agree upon that? Click on that, show some content. Okay, you guys here following me? Any questions? No questions? Hello, you guys not here? Hello, okay, you understood the assignment? Okay, let me just show you. In Tutoslive, I have implemented this. Click on this should open. Click again, it should close. Click on, open, click on this, it should close. Open and close, open and close. This is the assignment. Okay, so I'll show how to approach that kind of programming. Okay, so let's just start. So let's just take a break here, a 2-minute break. Tell me if you don't understand anything. I'll explain everything from the start. So no issues in that. jQuery is very important. So I don't want to leave that and leave like that. So I want you guys to understand every piece of jQuery, and it's all about practice again. How well you practice. From now onwards, for every single thing, you have to use jQuery. You have to use jQuery. That's it. Forget about JavaScript. But again, however, looping, if conditions, operators, everything should be done via JavaScript. jQuery is only for DOM and the events. So since that's a major part in JavaScript, so jQuery will help you out in only the DOM and the events. DOM and events. Okay, so are you guys ready for a small experiment here? So let's go ahead and do a small experiment. Let's do 2 experiments. Okay, these are really cool experiments. Okay, you guys ready? If you say ready, then I can go ahead and start doing it. Okay, so Ankush, you're not here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our experiment. Doc type, body, we'll say this as jQuery. That is called accordion. Okay, in technical terms it is called accordion. So remember, nobody will be telling you that what it exactly. It's called accordion, ACCORDION. Okay, which shows when clicked and which closes when clicked is called accordion. So here a title, Tutoslive Subatan accordion. So you can use this code anywhere if you want. So in future, if you really want to use this, okay, for this we need something. We have to prepare this class equal to container. Okay, and now here div class equal to, here what I do is I'll put everything, the visible part and the invisible part, inside a single div. So this I call as, let's say, space. So here now div class equal to, okay, let us call it as question or whatever you can call with your own name, and here div class equal to, I call this as answer. Okay, I call this as answer and that as question. Okay, so now here I'll just let us do one thing here. Let me just copy, let us copy here this particular thing. Inside the question, and here inside the answer I'll copy the same thing. Okay, let's go ahead and see there now. So this is how it looks like. I did not style it. Okay, let me just do one small style here. Dot space, font weight, bold, font size. Let's take 24 pixel, and I need a padding of 10 pixel, and I need a margin of 10 pixel. So let's see now. Okay, so now here coming to the answer part. I need the font weight. Okay, let this be only to question. Okay, and coming to the answer, I'll say display none. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, does it appear like that, like clickable thing? It appears like that, right? Now all we need is only jQuery script. Okay, so first thing is to include the jQuery file, scripts, jQuery.js. First thing is to include the jQuery file, script here. Now, whenever I click on question dot click function, whenever I click on function, what I'm supposed to do, I have to show the answer dot answer dot, I'll say toggle instead of show and hide. Toggle is like show and close is nothing but toggle. So let's see now. Let me just refresh. I click on this. You see that? Is the answer appearing? Answer closing? Yes? Right? Simple code. But I need specific to that only. Right? I need specific to that. I need only that should happen. For that, dollar only to this question, find the class called answer and then toggle. So let me just do one more thing here. Text decoration underline. So let me refresh, click on it. Okay, the find did not work here. So let's just give this dollar this, maybe closest. Okay, let me just check that. Okay, just give me a second. If this works out, I'll explain you what is parent. Yeah. Okay, you see that? Only this opens up. Now click and click. Okay, so now what is parent here? Okay, what is this parent, and what is this find, and what is this toggle? Let me just do one thing here. Dollar one more thing, one last thing. Okay, close all the answers. So when I click on this and this is still appearing. I don't want that, and let me just remove this text decoration from there and put it to only question. And coming to here, I need a font size of 18 pixel. Okay, now let's just see. Click on this. Now click on this, that is closed. Click on this, that is closed. Click on this, that is closed. Click on this. Okay, toggle ain't working. again. Okay, so now parent, coming to the parent tag. So for the question, the parent tag is space, right? This div is the parent. So inside that parent, find a class called answer and then toggle it. That is what it means. Okay, that is what it means. Parent is space, find what should I find? I find the class called answer, then toggle it, show it and close it, show it and close it. So I mean, there's something here. We may write some complex logic over there for that to to close that thing too. Right, so that's how this particular logic is written. So click on it and click on it, click on this, click on this, that closes. So again, that is not just hide and thing, that is uh, I guess slide toggle, that is this. So maybe slide toggle, I don't know if it works or not. Yeah, that is what it is, right? So that's all can be done, everything is done using jQuery, and the code to that is only these 3 lines. The code to that particular action, that particular thing, is only 3 lines. Okay, so again, it's all practice, how well you do it. Okay, how is chaining is working. So I suggest you guys do a small research on chaining, parent, find, so closest. So it's on the website itself, you don't have to go anywhere, okay, to do that research. So if I go here, okay, I may find that here. I'll search for it, I'll write find here. So dot find is just here. Okay, then I'll say parent. See that parent is here itself. So like such, everything is on the website itself. Find. So what does find do? He will explain it here. Get the descendants of each element in the current set of matched elements filtered by a selector. So he gives examples also. Find, what find does, what parent does, everything. Okay, so that's about that particular accordion action. So I click on this. Okay, I can even do it exactly like this, like this particular thing and showing up this. Okay, will we do that? Okay, let's do that, simple styling here. So a border here for space. Okay, let me just do something here, a border of 1 pixel solid, and that's this border. So let's see, quick styling, there's a border, and for the questions there's a background. Okay, that's a background for the questions, and I would like to use a padding of 10 pixels here. So let me just check it. Yes, yes, and let me just remove the padding here, 10 pixel. That is it, right? Am I right? And there's a padding here too. So you can do this, like click expand, click expand, click expand. You can also try this particular thing with different elements over there. Okay, any questions here? Don't hesitate to ask questions, ask me any kind of question. No, I'll tell you if I can tell this, or if you know, if you have to practice and ask the question again. Right, so let's do one last experiment for today. I want you to repeat these experiments again. I'm not asking you to do fresh assignments. I'm asking you to repeat these particular things. Okay, all the elements which are discussed in today's class, HTML, find, parent, okay, add class, everything is important. And there are so many other things too. They are all really important. You have to go to the website, find your application, what I want, then implement that in your website. That website has a question to every answer to every question. Every question of yours has an answer in that website. In worst possible scenario, just Google it. jQuery, CSS, add color, add background, add dynamic thing. You can search anything. Okay, so let's do one more experiment here. One last experiment. So here, again, this is very important. You can use this in your programs. Doc type HTML, head, body. So inside head, a title, Tutoslive, Super 10, dynamic text boxes. So you guys understood what we are gonna do? jQuery text box dot html. So we are just doing some dynamic text boxes here. Okay, so here input type equal to text, name equal to uh, let's say, okay, I'll say text box. Okay, remember why I'm using this bracket. Okay, I'll tell you this when we are processing the form in the next class using jQuery itself. Okay, id equal to, so id should always be what I said, id should always be unique, right? So I can't really, if I add dynamic, okay, I'll show you. Text box class equal to text box, so I'll use a placeholder, enter some text. Alright, I'll put this inside a div, class equal to I'll call this class as text boxes. At the very end, okay, div class equal to control. I'll call this as controls. Here I'll use buttons, or can use directly button class equal to add, okay, I'll use a class called add. So let's see if this is working out or not. Yes, we have to just, let me just style it. So okay, for text boxes, margin 0 pixel auto, width 60%, and then here input type equal to text, padding 10 pixel, margin bottom 10 pixel, width 100%. let's say, sorry, width equal to 80%. So let me just refresh and see. Okay, it's fine. And then is add and dot controls display inline block padding 10 pixel. You see that? Okay, and so let's just style that too. Let's make it as a border width 0 pixel, background hash ff. It's an odd color, I don't want that. Okay, that's a better color, I suppose. And let this width be 15%. Oh, right. So when I click on add, a new text box should appear again. Add new text box, add new text box. Okay, all right. So that is my intention. So let me just extend the class here by another 15 minutes. It will be done in 15 minutes. So my intention is whenever I click on add and add, new text boxes should be added upon. So for that, what I do here is I'll say text box area. I'll use another div. Okay, I'll use another div here. I'll just close this div here. Okay, enter text. So let me just see. Okay, but that should be next to it. So that text box area. Okay. Right, so this is it. When I click on add, a new text box should be added. It's very simple. You see how simple it is. This is just styling. You already know every piece of this. I assume at least you know. We have done this before. I've just done a styling, that's it. So the first and foremost thing to use jQuery is to include the jQuery file. src equal to scripts jQuery.js. Then everything should be below it. Script here. So whenever I click on what add, I click on add button dot click, what should happen? Function. Okay, first where element, I want to get the element to be added. The element is nothing but text box area dot html is the element there. Now what I want to do is dollar, so it's a class, right? So dot. So I want to append. Okay, append is another method. Append of element. That's it. Just 3 lines of code. Append is nothing but it will add to the existing content. It will add to the existing content. So let's see now. I'll just refresh this. I'll click on add. Okay, something happened here. So let me just check it out. So element is not defined, it seems. Maybe the spelling mistake. Yep. Okay, I'll refresh again. Refreshed, add. Okay, it's adding multiple. It's adding multiple. So I don't want that to happen. I want to add only one at a time. So what do? I'll just take this. I'll take this entire thing, copy, paste it here. Now let's see. Refresh, add one element. Right? Try the two experiments we have done in today's class. Try both the experiments in today's class. And yeah, that's all I can say about today's class. We'll meet again tomorrow. We'll see a solid example in jQuery, another example with images. We'll see how images slideshows are made, and we see the different other elements in jQuery, like we'll see the CSS element, we'll see the data element, and I'll show you guys the events, the mouse events, the form events. Okay, we see the form events too. And what else they have? That's it. So we'll see the CSS. This is also again an important thing, like .css is an important thing. And I'll see the data is not that important now, no problem with the data. And mouse events you have seen. Okay, try all the mouse events. Try mouse events. Okay, you can follow. Instead of dot click, use dot mouse down, dot hover, dot focus, dot double click, and the keyboard again. And this is very important. We'll see this. We'll see form and we'll see slideshows tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, with that I end the class. So don't forget to give a feedback. So Anil, it's your chance, your time now to give a feedback. There's nobody left to give a feedback. Okay, so take care, have fun. So we'll meet again tomorrow. So Anil, just okay.